Hello, everyone, and welcome again to another Teacher Joseph podcast. Well, it's very cold today here in the UK. The cold weather is here, and where I am, it's already 2 degrees. That's right, it's dropped down to 2 degrees Celsius. I'm so glad that I was able to spend some time in the garden yesterday. Today is International Artists' Day. And this is one of my favorite days because it includes not only art, but it's a day when we celebrate the arts. That includes painting, but also includes dancing, sculpting, all the other things which are creative. And that includes voice artists, people who podcast, people like me. So this is a wonderful day to celebrate if you are working in a field where there's anything creative. We say working in a field to refer to specific industries. The field of the arts, or you could say I work in the field of communication, the field of doing something else. We always say the field of, we never say the something field. For example, the communication field. Well, that just makes me sound like an airport communication tower, doesn't it? Because you get a picture in your mind of an actual field. So it's the field of, not the something field. All right? Anyway, this day is International Artists' Day. And it's a lovely day to celebrate everything creative. This day was chosen because it was the birthday of Pablo Picasso, the Spanish artist. He was born on October the 25th, 1881. And art these days, well, it's kind of forgotten, isn't it? In a world where money dominates us, the idea of doing something to try to capture an emotion or try to sell your art which you've created, it's becoming less and less important. You know, artists work hard to create their work, and many of them do it because they just want to add beauty to the world around us. You know, there's painters, photographers, sculptors, musicians, dancers, writers, actors, digital artists, voice artists, and many more. Some people say that you have to be born with the creative gifts, so the creativity flows into different areas. I'm not sure that's true. I think you can take anything and call it creative, but the problem is these days AI is coming, and very soon I think a lot of our jobs are going to be swept away in that, particularly around these kind of podcasts. I mean, I don't know what the future is going to bring, of course, but I'm guessing that they're going to find easier ways of making these things. I don't know. So it's a good day to celebrate International Artists' Day while we still can. Several organizations around the world support International Artists' Day, and they're all having special events, such as the Metropolitan Museum of Arts, the Art Gallery of Ontario, the National Galleries of Scotland. That's where I'm going today. There's also one here called the Jerusalem Foundation. I don't know what that is. To celebrate local artists, many cities around the world, such as San Miguel in Spain, have arts festivals, and galleries around the world host open houses and invite the public to view their art for free or at a discounted price. So that's nice, isn't it? If you're not an artist or you're not creative, don't worry. I mean, I'm sure you do some creative thing. Even making a cake is creative. Walking on the street could be classed as creative. So, you don't have to be rushing out and making a podcast every day. It's just nice, though, to get in touch with the things that you love to do, isn't it? Yeah. Speaking of creativity and things which people make or do, one hobby that our royal family had until very recently is stamp collecting. You know, the postage stamps that you use to send a letter. Our royals were avid, that just means keen, stamp collectors. And in the news today, they're saying that our King Charles, is not going to continue this. So since I think it's 1804, it says here, the royals have been collecting postage stamps. So that's basically as long as the postage system has existed. I think it was formed in the 1800s somewhere. So they've started collecting postage stamps. That continued throughout the generations, and now it's ending. I suppose it would be more grammatically correct to say they have been collecting postage stamps since 1804, and King Charles has decided he no longer wants to do that. Well, in this report, it hasn't actually mentioned that nobody sends letters anymore. So even if he did want to do it, he's not going to find many postage stamps, is he? Not unless he writes a lot of letters. Did you know that here in the UK, to buy a postage stamp now costs you around £1? Isn't that awful? I mean, I have my Christmas cards to send in December. I have them all written already, of course. And it's going to be quite costly to send those. Many people don't. So that's in our news today. King Charles is no longer going to continue with this royal hobby of stamp collecting, something which has been done since 1804. Oh, very interesting. I don't suppose he's too concerned. I mean, I used to collect stamps as a child. I kept all of them, and then when I moved to Spain, I gave them all to somebody who was collecting stamps over there. There was nothing really exciting in them, a few Victorian ones, but I just don't have the energy or the time to be wandering around, trying to take stamps off envelopes. Before the internet came, we all had time for that kind of thing, but not these days. Anyway, so International Artists' Day is today. So just to finish off, we'll go over some idioms which are related to the voice. Okay. So, of course, the most common one is at the top of your voice. And that's referring to the level of sound that you make. For example, a family was visiting me last night with their 4-year-old, and the 4-year-old was screaming at the top of her voice. It means the loudest sound she can ever make at the top of her voice. Okay, so at the top of your voice, my voice, her voice, it means as loud as you can possibly make it. Yeah. My cat was screeching at the top of his voice this morning when he discovered that he couldn't get out of the room that he was in. He'd knocked the door closed. So, at the top of one's voice, to shout or scream as loudly as possible. The voice of reason. Yeah, that's when you have someone around you that's confused or shouting or anxious or upset or annoyed or anything. And you can give them some lovely advice just to calm them down a bit. And they might say in return, oh, thanks very much. You really are the voice of reason. So the voice of reason is someone who provides calm, wise, and rational advice or thoughts amidst chaos or confusion. The voice of reason. So, yeah, it's something someone might say to you, or you could say to someone else. If they're giving you good advice, you could say, oh, as always, thanks very much. You really are the voice of reason. Or you're a good friend, or thanks for listening. A voice in the wilderness. Yeah, that's a voice in the wilderness is someone who has an idea that perhaps isn't popular. So let's say, for example, I have an opinion I don't know, or a decision to do something. So it's the middle of winter, everything is very cold, and I say, let's go camping. You can imagine that's not going to be popular, okay? So someone might say, what? You really are a voice in the wilderness, huh? It means no one's going to listen to you. So a voice in the wilderness, someone who's expressing an unpopular opinion or warning, but who's largely being ignored, okay? So, for example, if I said to my friends today, it's International Artists Day, why don't we climb a mountain? I really would be a voice in the wilderness there. I mean, who wants to climb a mountain? That's another idiom there. There's loads of them. To voice an opinion is to express or state one's thoughts on a matter. It's not in an aggressive way, it's just voicing an opinion. Would you like to voice your opinion about this change the government's making? No. No, thank you. Let's see. Yeah, the voice of the people. That's something politicians say a lot. Oh, we were voted in, the voice of the people has spoken. Yeah. So that's a common one. That's like a collective idea of what people want, the voice of the people. And people who are not good with musical tones, or who can't sing, they might refer to themselves as being tone deaf. You can say it about other people as well. You could say, oh, my friend's completely tone deaf. It means not being able to discern differences in musical pitch. And it means being insensitive to a situation or the feelings of others as well. There we are. And one more, to hear it on the grapevine. Well, we all know that song by Marvin Gaye, Heard It on the Grapevine. I think it was Marvin Gaye anyway. To hear something on the grapevine is to hear news or gossip from someone who's heard it from someone else, not the direct source. Okay? And there we are. So that's some idioms related to voice and speaking. So very good. Yeah, we have plenty of those. So this is a lovely day to celebrate all things creative. So maybe listen to a few more podcasts or change your podcast provider. Or if you really are into this in a big way, perhaps you could take up dancing or cook something different even. Yeah, it's a nice day to celebrate with something creative. I'll be heading over to the art gallery today in Edinburgh in the northern part of the UK. So that's how I'll be spending it. And then tomorrow, I'll be at Edinburgh Zoo as well. So I'll be making some nice podcasts, both on the way there and also in the zoo itself to describe the city for you. So you can look forward to those. And I wish you all a wonderful day. See you. Bye.